What's going on, people? Welcome to 1G7 Works, and today I thought I would do the first ever kind of like live VR car mod review thing. This is the kind of stuff that I've wanted to do for a while now. I talked about it on Twitter recently enough as well. I feel like I say that a lot in these videos where it's like, I talked about it on Twitter. But yeah, no, so if you don't follow me, I'll put the link to my Twitter always. It's just like by default put into my description, so give me a follow. I'm usually posting stuff there. Yeah, so one of the reasons that I'd been like so excited about getting a new graphics card was the ability to record in VR and how to have it in be a decent, like, kind of usable field of view, and so I could do videos like this where I've stumbled across a new mod and I basically can test it out and have a look at it, give a live first reaction to the mod and to the car and that kind of thing on a video, basically. So today's mod, if I load it up, is the Chevrolet Corvette C8R, which is the it's the new entry, basically. It's the new mid-engine Chevrolet from the GTE class in endurance racing, WEC, and it's pretty interesting looking. I really liked it at first, and then I suddenly wasn't sure about it, and now I'm back to like being on board. I'm definitely on board with this C8R variant. But yeah, I just basically came across this, downloaded it, installed it. Haven't driven it at all. This is going to be like a first blind kind of test, first look sort of thing. And yeah, we basically jump into VR and see how it looks and feels and drives and all that kind of stuff into VR. So, going to switch over to that, and yeah, so I'll see it in VR. Well, if that isn't typical, I don't know what is. An update for Oculus has to occur before I can make the video, so that's fun. Alright, so this is the default view once you recenter your everything, which is kind of interesting. It seems a little bit close, but I don't know, maybe I can fix it once I get in. Center. Yeah, that brings it even closer. Okay. Yeah, so I just basically wanted to have a look and just see what the options are like for the tuning abilities of it. So you've got your gear fully tunable, which is good. All the individual drives, not just the final drive. Tires I'm going to stick on soft, but you've got soft, medium and hard. Fuel I'll drop down to 10, because I think although it doesn't use fuel, it might make the car lighter. I think. I'm not sure though. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, basically all the settings that you'd want to tweak, which is pretty good. I'm not going to obviously do it now. I'm just going to keep it fairly stock except for the soft tires. And we'll get in. So I have 90 FPS, which is excellent. I'm very excited about that. But I'm going to close that down and then just keep the gear. Actually, no, I don't need the gear because I've got a digital dash in this car. So yeah, first impressions are it looks good. We've got all the kind of stuff that you'd expect in a high quality WEC mod car now. So you got the wheel, which again is just very close. I'm going to just lean forward. Yeah, okay, I was right. That is way too close. Okay. All right. So you can tell by the seatbelt if I look down properly that was not where I was meant to be. So that's an issue that you can get occasionally, where the default view is not ideal. So I'm looking for the little onboard settings. Right, so seat height, I want to be raised up a little bit because I'm not that short, and seat position something like that seems about right, so I'm just going to save that. Right, so we begin with the view. I'm going to just keep force feedback clip open there just until we get the right settings for that. You have, as I said, everything that you need, so that you'd want to see as far as quality goes. You've got all your like these kind of straps and that kind of thing, all the details, carbon everywhere. Like you've got the little soft cushion on the roll cage, which is nice to see. No view at the back mirror, which is a shame, and it looks like my side view mirrors have stayed where they are by default. I wish that would change. Yeah, I wish the side view mirrors would reset to the proper positions when you reset your view. Now, if I was to close the game, load it back up, I'm sure they'd be perfect. Right, so the mirrors adjusted. I forgot that that's an option that you can change. So I've got my mirror set up. The center mirror is fine. Sounds good. It doesn't sound as throaty. It's not. Is it not a V8 this time? I can't remember for the life of me if it was a V8 or not, because it doesn't really sound like a V8. You have a look from the outside and have a little listen around. The down low kind of raspiness down to it sounds a bit like rumbly like a V8, but the actual high-end squeal doesn't. It sounds a bit thinner than I was expecting. Now, I could be talking completely out of school there, and it probably is a V8 for all I know, but let's get started anyway. Let's take her out for a rip. Now, as ever, I always feel like I should disclose that I'm not the best driver in the world. I'm not like a super qualified voice to be giving opinions on these things. But I know like how the other cars feel. Ooh, that felt interesting already. So I have to remember that it's rear or mid-engined. Very strange. Do some tire warming. Ooh, it's interesting. Now, full disclosure, I found this on a random Facebook page, so this could be a paid mod, and if so, I do apologise. I just seen a link to it. The reason I say that is because I don't actually know who the modders are, where this comes from. I don't know if it's URD or if it is, say, like what are the other guys, URD or whoever. Like, there's some of the other kind of established high-end car mod makers for Assetto Corsa. But so far, it's feeling good. All the kind of feedback that you want. It has, of course, the it has the ABS lights as well, as you'd expect, which is good. Which means that this can slot in pretty, like, all the features that I'm seeing here means, like, will, like, give me the impression this will fit in absolutely fine with, like, a WEC, like, series with the other cars, the M8 and that kind of thing. But it feels good so far. It's a little bit like you snap down on the back wants to come out really kind of a little bit more easily than I'd prefer. It's not feeling as planted as something like the M8 so far. Again, this is only like a lap or two into it though. Yeah, see, there goes the back end really quickly. Oh, Jesus. Alright. Interesting. Again, this is on basically the default setup, so I'm sure that can be tuned out of it. But it's just interesting to note. Locked up a little easier there than I was expecting as well. Now, as this is the first episode, obviously I'll refine how these are done. Like, maybe like I should have done some more research into the car beforehand and have some stats on it and stuff like that. But I just wanted to, the idea came to my head when I downloaded it. I was like, you know what, I should do that now while I have the time, while it's in my head. So I basically just set everything up and got started straight away. So in the future, I will be sure to have like all kind of the proper stats and everything like that for the car. But should I do the stats according to real life or according to the mod is the thing? Like, you'd presume towards the mod, but then like some mods might be slightly different to the real life version, so people watching the video that know the real life car might be like, that's bullshit, it doesn't have 655 horsepower, it's got 670 or whatever like that. Like, but yeah, it seems pretty good. I'm just very hesitant to put my foot down too harshly on it. Because it did feel like it has been feeling so far like it just wants to step out. I do like that the ABS, or not the ABS, the traction control lights on this one show the difference between the front and the rear. So if I jam on now, you can see the two front tires there show up, but if I step on it, the rear's light up in blue and then the red. Yeah, it's a nice separation. That's something that I've always wanted, like in certain cars. I think the M8, like, for example, and the 911, if I remember right, they just do basically left and right. Like, they don't tell you exactly where. Now, I could be mistaken, but just from memory, if I remember correctly, that's how they do it. It's just left or right that you're locking up, and you have to kind of work it out for yourself to have exactly what wheel is doing what. Oh, there we go. We got away. I think the tires are probably cooked from that little experiment, so I'll bring it in. Pit limiter works for what it's worth, as you'd expect. I'm curious to see what the lighting is like. I can't remember if I've got the timing turned on this. Nope. So put on time times 60, so basically every minute is an hour. Right, well that's a terrible stop. So the time will come on now and I'll turn on the lights and see how it looks in the dark. To give the whole impression of the mod. Again, this is a first episode. Please don't be too critical. I'm realizing this is kind of probably going to be all over the place and not the best, like the most well done. They will improve over time, like anything. I'm literally just thinking of stuff to do on the fly at the moment. So a fresh set of tires. God, this game looks gorgeous. God bless them modders, man. The creators of Saul and Custom Shader especially. Just a slight corner cut there, we're fine. Right, so like I'm driving it very cautiously at the moment. Obviously a fresh set of tyres after stopping in. The temperatures are pretty low on them, I'd imagine. But I don't feel like so far that I have the confidence that I'd have in something like the M8 or the 911 to stick the foot down and drive it very aggressively. Like it does seem a bit just loose on the edge, like. It's not necessarily bad by any means. I'm sure that's like a lot of people's preferred feel and style, like to be on the edge like that. As we see that beautiful sunset. Hopefully that my VR with the field of view adjustments is now picking up. With the beautiful sky with all the clouds. God, it's gorgeous. Now, a slight issue that I'm having with my Sol and my custom shaders patches as a side note is I don't think that my lights come on by default when the sun reaches a certain threshold. I'll have to see, but I don't think it does. But that is unrelated to this car. Like, I might try and drive it a bit more aggressively now on this lap. As you can see there, like it's snapping a bit away. Maybe accelerate a little harder or turn in a little sharper or brake a little later than I would otherwise. See, we're locking up there. Oh, that sunset is beautiful. You just caught the last of the sun going down right towards the end. Now, as of yet, the track lights haven't come on yet, so my lights haven't come on, which I think is the setting by default. Oh. Right, so again, I'm driving a little harder than I normally would. I'm turning in a little bit later, a little bit kind of harsher. Honestly, yeah, I'm starting to seem like it's noticed, like I'm starting to take notice that it is a bit more forgiving than I was giving it credit for at first. Like there you go, I kind of stamped on the accelerator a little bit there. Turn lights on. Turn lights on. I had to turn the lights on myself manually there. They didn't come on, unfortunately, for some reason. Yeah, so I stamped on the accelerator there coming out of the first turn, and it did wobble, it did get away from me a little bit, but it was not terribly unmanageable. As far as the night time for this car goes, I noticed that it doesn't have the blue in-car lights. I don't know if that's a conscious decision or a thing that's just that they don't do anymore or what, but I noticed that it doesn't have like the in-car blue LED lighting that a lot of the other WEC cars mods have, which is just something to know, not a big deal either way. Yeah. Like it's growing on me, definitely. Let's see how it likes that. It doesn't. It doesn't like that at all. Itchy leg. Ooh. Yeah, so it didn't like that. That's interesting. Again, in the interest of just feeling it out. See, because the thing with rear engine cars is that they're supposed to be more planted, is the theory, that the weight of the engine pushes down over the rear wheels and makes it a lot more less susceptible to that kind of like oversteer. It's the theory, at least, in any way. And again, because I don't know exactly where this mod came from, I don't know the quality of it, I don't know how accurate it is and that kind of thing, but the comments seem to be pretty positive on it, so I'm not sure if that was, again, I don't know if that was praising the real car and they hadn't tried this one yet or what, but you have all those different possibilities, but yeah, there's a way of driving it where you can step on the accelerator, just you have to get it in the right little window, right little sweet spot. It's definitely interesting. It's definitely something that I can see myself using a bit in races. Again, say, oh yeah, obviously I suck. I probably would get slaughtered by actual decent drivers. I think I may take it for one more lap here because I'm having fun, but I think yous are getting the gist of it. It's definitely worth a look at anyway. Again, I apologise if this is a paid mod that I've accidentally stolen by following a link on Facebook, but yeah, just and as a result, I don't. The reason I said that again is I'm not entirely sure who created it, so I don't know where to get it, and I don't know if I should be giving out the link in case it is a paid mod. Well, yeah, definitely, as Eddie, our friend Eddie Bravo would say, look into it. Slight lock up with the right fronts there. We call this the last lap. Yeah, definitely look into it though. It's 100% worth a try. And anyway, the more I play with it, the more I outbreak myself. The more I quite enjoy it. Actually, I could definitely see putting some more time into learning how to master it. That's for sure. Because it sounds really pleasant as well. It's a really pleasant. The cockpit's a really pleasant place to be. Yeah, so I'll call it quits after this lap, and thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. Let's see what kind of laps I was doing there. My last lap was actually the fastest, the 56. So, yeah. I have no idea if that's good or not, but we'll call it quits on that one. Yep, as I said, that's it. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.